This, believe it or not, is a miniature camera used by doctors to detect problems in the digestive tract. You swallow it, and over a period of 12 to 24 hours, it takes pictures as it travels from one end of your body to the other. This will give us a unique insight into how our lab rats are coping with stress on the inside. It's time for our rats to take their medicine. The capsule transmits video signals to 8 aerials which are connected to a tiny video recorder attached to the rat's body. How influenced by authority are the lab rats? This next experiment should tell us.
This experiment is actually testing a hypothesis, and the hypothesis we're testing is adrenaline affects our sense of taste.
The rats will rate the taste of chocolate or sweets on a scale of 1 to 10. Then they'll face increasingly unpleasant experiences and rate the chocolate again. Sandra tells them the hypothesis is that the taste of chocolate should change. The theory is believable, but entirely false. What we're interested in is whether any of our rats will question the authority of someone in a white coat telling them that this is true. Exactly how far will our rats allow themselves to be put under extreme discomfort in the name of science?
No, I'm not easily influenced by other people or by authority. No.
I respect authority. I've been in an authority position myself, and I understand that respect is earned both ways.
If my boss told me something that I felt was wrong, I would bite my tongue and just wait and see what he was driving at.
If they're more experienced than I suppose, then yes, I would trust their judgment. But as soon as it got a little bit, if I thought their judgment was wrong, then I would tend to say something.
Where would you sort of rate that chocolate?
8.
4.
Probably about 8.
About 4.
Now, what we're going to do to actually sort of heighten your adrenaline response is actually stimulate your receptors. And we're going to go for areas that have high concentrations of sensory receptors.
The first unpleasant experience is to take a deep breath of a rotting fish.
What I want you to do now is I want you to pick up the fish and hold it under your nose for 5 seconds. Mouth open, sorry.
Still 6, I'm afraid.
About the same.
7.
3.
So far, all the rats have obeyed Sandra without question, so she escalates the level of unpleasantness and asks them to dig out the fisheye.
It seems to be attached by its little eye column.
With dramatic results.
Nice.
That's not nice.
They may look calm on the outside, but the pictures from the tiny camera inside their bodies reveal the stress that they're actually experiencing.
2.
It's stabilised at fairly not that good a chocolate anymore.
The camera inside Rat 4's stomach reveals contractions that are taking place, a clear indicator of the stress he's under. The concentration of air bubbles in the bile of Rat 2's small bowel may also be the result of increased swallowing when under stress.
Yes. Gross. Actually taste it while you continue to look. Continue to get visual stimulation.
They are foul.
First 3.
6.
No change.
We've analysed Rat 1's voice on a new computer software program which detects changes in emotion.
Okay, 4. Now, in terms of...
This reveals an inner struggle for control. After a horrible experience, her words become clipped and short, indicating strong emotion.
No.
She then tries to talk her way back to being in control, and her sentences get longer and longer.
Chocolate around the edges of my tongue now.
Okay,
on the centre of my tongue in the middle, it's not chocolate anymore.
Okay.
It's sort of maggoty.
That's really interesting. What I want you to do now is actually, again, with your right hand, I need you to put it into the container and actually make contact with the bottom. Have as much contact as possible.
I don't know if I can do that.
5 seconds on the clock. At the bottom of the dish, you'll feel the dish's cool surface. Actually moving the maggots out of the way. Move them out of the way to make contact with the bottom, because then once you have contact with the hard surface, you're going to get proper stimulation of your palm, which you're not really going to get now because they're moving around too much. So just sort of push them out of the way.
And stop.
Gonna get my hand out?
Yes, take your hand out. Chocolate, 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 chocolate.
2.
Well, actually, 6.
That's a little bit nicer.
And can we just have the last? Okay. What I want you to do now is actually stick out your tongue and quite pointed. Actually, pointed. That's right. Now, actually touch the maggot just on the tip of your tongue.
I'm not putting it in my mouth, am I?
Oh, so first of all, not with that hand.
Sorry.
Yeah. What you're going to be doing is just putting it on the tip of your tongue.
A maggot on the tip of my tongue?
Yes.
Right.
Tip. Right.
Even with maggots crawling over their tongues, none of the rats questioned Sandra's authority.
4.
2.
6.
That was worse, a little bit worse.
What we need to do now is actually stimulate none of the receptors at all by effectively just putting the maggot right to the back of your throat, a bit like actually swallowing a pill.
So I've got to actually swallow it down.
How do you get it out again?
No, you have to swallow it.
You want me to swallow a maggot?
If you really can't get it down, we might just need to... OK, chocolate quickly.
That was grand.
I'd say that's got no taste at all now.
Did he go 1.5?
3.
The camera inside rat 3 shows the maggot in her small bowel. Like rat 2, she also has a high concentration of air bubbles in her bile, indicating stress. The increase in blood flow to rat 1's stomach wall, seen here as the red areas, may be another sign of stress.